our next game of the Sunday slate, and it's another divisional game. You got the New York Giants going to Jerry World to face the Cowboys in their home opener. Cowboys were a team that, after the Michael Parsons trade, there was a lot of, downplaying, or the expectations were severely lowered. And the offense had a great game, I would say, against the Philadelphia. They were down Jalen Carter, of course, but the offense really showed you what they could do. Dak Prescott looked great, as he usually does early on in the season before, the injuries pile up. But I think it says more about this game is going to be defined more about, what Russell Wilson can't do as the Giants quarterback. I think it's only a matter of time before Jackson Dart is brought in to take over this team, but it's not going to be this week. And until that happens, I think the Giants are a severely limited offense, and they're going to be going up against an offense in Dallas where, say what you will about the defense, about the personnel, but I have a hard time leaning towards New York until they're able to move on from Russell Wilson at quarterback, because it looked awful. It looked terrible against the Commanders. So, that's my preliminary thoughts on the game. Mike, do you have any thoughts that jump out to you right off the bat? Dallas hosting New York in this game.
Dallas hosting New York in this game. I thought Dak actually looked pretty good last week. Deron Bland is going to be out going into this game for Dallas. I mean, that's obviously a major loss. I mean, but I think you should be encouraged if you're Dallas. I mean, you had 20 points in the first half of last week. Javonte Williams came back and looked really good for the first time running for the Cowboys. Looked about as up to full strength as we saw him in his rookie season. I really liked what they were able to do on the defensive side of the ball in the second half. I think the first half was a mess, but you were able to limit the Eagles to 3 points to begin with, and then you gave up 2 big plays to A.J. Brown for one of them. Offense didn't score a point in the second half, and I think that is something you can also, I think, attribute to pass rush and offensive line faultiness for what's it called?
Philly?
Pass rush for Philly, offensive line faultiness for Dallas. But
it's also a weird scenario where they stopped in the middle of the game too.
Very much so. I mean, they did have a chance. The thing was, they had a chance to win that game. CeeDee Lamb drops it, then you piss away the win. I think you go into this game, what you did wrong. You had that game. You had that game to win. I like Dallas for this. I think Brian Schottenheimer is in a much better position, obviously, than Brian Daboll. I think a little less of a hot seat, as we're talking about one of the hottest seats in the NFL. Not exactly a must-win, but a can't lose for them. No, I mean, I anticipate Dallas's playmakers to step up because they're going to need to against the defensive line for the New York Giants, which I think is going to give them fits. I really like Dak's pass completions over, set at about 20.5. I think you're going to see him getting the ball out quick like he was last game. A lot of hitches, a lot of things over the middle to even guys sliding in for the catches. That's my best play on that game. But yeah, give me the Cowboys -5. Over under at 44.5. It's a fun over. Why not take it? But no, I like the Cowboys -5, and I think that seat ramps up hot for Brian Daboll a little bit.
They're not firing Brian Daboll the year after he drafted Jackson Dart. I just refuse to believe it. It would just be such bad practice by New York to do that. But regardless, I know people are saying he has a hot seat. I can't buy it.
And Russell Wilson did not look good. Not look good.
The Giants secondary too. I think this could be a real get right game for CD.
Right. And to that point, I think George Pickens, they could have definitely involved more in the Philadelphia game. I look for him to have at least 50 yards this week just to get him more involved. But I really liked what I saw from the Dallas Cowboys offensive line, controlling the line of scrimmage. I think they're going to be able to build off of week one. It's going to be a good matchup with New York. New York is a little bit built more for finesse at this point. Obviously, they have Dexter, but it's going to be a good matchup for the Cowboys. If they can control the line of scrimmage, I think they can easily win this game. I'm going to take them with the spread. I think they're going to score more than 5.5 points, more than the New York Giants. And I think that the receiving core of Dallas is as good as it's been, maybe since the Michael Irvin, Alvin Harper days.
Wow. We got some Miles Austin, Des Bryant disrespect over here.
Yeah.
But hey, go ahead.
I was gonna say, I'll give my piece quick on this game. I like the Cowboys too. One thing that's crazy is the last Giants win at, I think Jerry World was around at this time. Actually, it was for sure. The last Giants win at Jerry World came in 2016. So that's
wow.
And also the last 8 times these teams have played have been an absolute bludgeoning by the Cowboys.
Is that Eli at QB?
Yeah.
Would Eli be the QB of that game?
Well, I think Eli was the QB the last time the Giants won in 2021.
Oh, that's what I mean. Oh,
yeah.
Wow.
But the last time they won at Jerry World was 2016.
That's crazy. And
I think they're like 18 and 2 or something over the last like 20 times that they played.
Yikes.
Which is crazy.
I thought the Bears versus Packers record was bad.
Yeah, I mean, maybe
we're not alone.
You think it would have given the Giants extra motivation, like 8 times ago, I guess. Like these guys always beat us, but no, this series has not been kind to the Giants over the last decade, I guess. So,
no,
and I don't think it ends here. I'm with you guys. For all the reasons, like Cowboys, I think we have to admit the Cowboys overexceeded expectations in week one. No, and honestly, I think the Giants far, underexceeded expectations week one. And I think that, look, their defense certainly showed some flashes against the Commanders, but again, I don't know if it's going to be enough to win this football game. Until Russell Wilson is gone, I'm with you, Pat. This I don't know if this offense has the gear needed with the type of quarterback that Russell Wilson is at this point in his career. He's a game manager, and with a game manager, you need explosive players. You need an elite run game and explosive players, and I think their only other explosive player, in my opinion, is Malik Neighbors. Tyrone Tracy's a fine player, but he's not a guy. He's not a guy you can hand the ball off to 20 times and expect to win football games. And I think it might be sooner than later we see Dart, to be quite honest with you.
And that's what I was going to say. I think that the storyline now for New York becomes just when do we see Jackson Dart? Because you're not competing with Russell Wilson.
What are we thinking? Week 4?
New Orleans.
Well, that's what I was about to say. I mean, they've got New Orleans on the road in week 5, but the next game after that is Philly on primetime Thursday Night Football. Then they're going to Denver, to Philly, home for San Francisco, to Chicago to face the Bears, home for Green Bay. It's a gauntlet of a schedule.
They wouldn't.
Everyone's talking about New Orleans like it's that cushy spot.
It's got to be.
Where he's. It makes sense, but
after seeing Malik Neighbors, how angry Malik Neighbors was just after week 1, though, I can't see that. I can't see it.
I mean, I also don't see them playing him before week 5.
They wouldn't give him his first start as a QB in a Thursday Night Football game on a short week. That feels like they'd be doing a disservice. But
against Philly too. But that's going to be unless you're only going to play him against the Saints, you're going to have him play against Philly, at Denver, at Philly, home for San Francisco. This is a gauntlet of a schedule. So I don't know. Bye week is 14. It looks like week 14.
Holy hell!
Yeah. So it doesn't get any easier. I think.
Who do they play after the Thursday night game? Because they kind of get the mini bye after the Thursday.
They go to Denver,
and then Philly. They go to Philly after that. Then they go to San Fran. Then they play San Fran.
There's not a great place to play in. I mean, you don't want to ruin them.
Also, Dexter Lawrence did just have, his wife did. They just had a kid this week. So, I mean, if you're Dak Prescott and you're looking over the middle and you're not seeing Dexter Lawrence coming down your throat, may open some things up.
Congratulations
to Dexter.
Well,
I think he
probably.
could.
I don't
Yeah,
know. Maybe he's on
Thomas-
he's on
Andrew
paternity
Thomas.
leave.
Andrew Thomas is
Andrew
probably
Thomas is
he's
hurt. Yeah.
questionable.
He's hurt.
Again, it's one of those things though. Can Sam Williams and some of those guys that Dallas have, can they take advantage of that matchup? I think
Matt
they can.
Eberflus isn't going to blitz, so they're going to have to get home with 4.
Yeah.
They had to dog cuss him. They had to dog cuss him to blitz in the second half.
Yeah, they said get us more aggressive.
Yeah,
they had to they just throw him into the locker and bully him.
Sounds about right for Matt Eberflus. It sounds like what you need to do. I wish I could have done that while he was the head coach of the Bears. But of course, the Bears trust him being the head coach for whatever reason. I've trashed the Bears enough so far in this podcast, and we can move on to